I've been speedrunning Minecraft for a little over 2 years now, and during this time, I can confidently say the speedrun you are about to see in this video is the craziest run I've ever had. This run was an emotional roller coaster, with extreme highs and lows. I truly believe that I may very well never have a completed run that meets the absurdity of this one. I hope you enjoy. This is a random seed glitchless run, the most popular category on speedrun.com. In random seed runs, nothing is guaranteed. If the game gives you a bad seed or bad luck, you either need to deal with it or reset the run. But before we get into the run, the most important thing to note is that it uses a jungle temple. I think jungle temples are really cool, but the unfortunate truth is that they are kinda bad for speedrunning. The jungle biome itself has a bunch of drawbacks, and the temples are outclassed by many other structures in the game. Jungle temples are simply not worth playing and are often a waste of time. So that begs the question, why am I playing one? It's simple. I'm bored, and temples are fun. Enjoy the commentary. This first chest here, 5 diamonds and 6 gold, which 5 diamonds is pretty unheard of. Pretty rare you see that, but the second chest gives me no iron, which is really bad. Having no iron is just not ideal. You always want to have iron in your speedrun, either for bucket or flint and steel, or maybe even any other tools like shears could be really good to get a lot of blocks really quickly. But without iron, I'm not able to craft a bucket to make my portal. I'm not able to craft a flint and steel to light my portal. So the path to victory means I will either need to find a completable ruined portal with a flint and steel, or find iron elsewhere to enter the nether, or do a strategy which involves entering the nether from a magma ravine without a bucket or flint and steel. But we'll get to that later. I leave the island at about 107 and start boating, and right now I'm not seeing anything great, but I do see this little ravine to the left. I don't see if there's any magma underneath it, but I decide to go this way just in case, and right here I see obsidian and I see magma, and I'm like, okay, I'm going down here. Okay, let's take a step back for a second. It is in fact possible to create a magma portal without a bucket, as long as it's at least 5 blocks deep. By using F3, you can see how deep the lava is, and if it's deeper than 5 blocks, you can use gravity blocks to reach underneath. However, because I didn't have iron, I neglected to get gravel, as in my head, I knew I wouldn't need flint. This puts me in the predicament that unless my magma portal is exactly 5 blocks deep, I will either lose time or not be able to continue the run at all. And because I don't have iron for flint and steel, I don't grab gravel, and that would be a big mistake if the ravine wasn't 5 deep, which allows me to not need gravel for this portal. And there is just unlucky, I get lava ticked. I'm able to survive on 2 hearts, but what happened there is I just get unlucky and the lava just flows into the spot where the air was, and there was nothing I could have done about it. And to make matters worse, my only food source is rotten flesh, meaning that I'm just going to need to wait for my portal to light while eating rotten flesh, while pretty much doing nothing. The entire rest of the run, I'm going to be on low health, and meaning that I can't play aggressively to maybe save any extra time, which is really bad. If I want any extra food, or if I want to get my health back, I will need to either kill a hoglin, or maybe find extra food in the nether, usually by killing a hoglin, or by death resetting. My portal lights 35 seconds later, and this nether enter 239 is not great, but luckily I have a bastion, which I'm immediately able to tell is a stables bastion. Now, stables bastions can usually go one of 2 ways. They are either great, or they are either the worst experience in the world. And this bastion is a single triple, and I know if I want this run to be fast, I need to play the single triple, and it's gonna have to hit. So I beeline straight towards it, ready to start my route. There's a crossbow guy here. I don't really care about him. I'm just going up to the gold blocks. My food situation, not great. I'm going to eat the 2 rotten flesh, and that's all I have for pretty much the rest of the run, unless if I decide to pick up anything else along the way. Able to get some trades, and I see a pearl trade there, so I know that, hey, a second pearl trade, maybe this has a shot at happening. I go to check the chest right here, and I check my inventory, bang, 2 gold blocks, 18 obsidian. This is looking promising. All I need to do is pyrite for the fortress, and I end up messing up the pyrite, and it cost me like 15 seconds here, which is kind of embarrassing, frankly, to be honest, which I do end up eventually getting it right, but it's just something that just shouldn't happen in a run. I should just be able to get this first try, but the direction of the fort is back towards my home portal, so I'm able to line up a good pearl hang here, quickly get my render down, and I'm able to head back to my trades to see if I'm out. I still have 18 gold left to trade. Right now, based on the trades, I have no pearls right now, but I do have like enough explosives. And I check now, I do have enough of everything, but I want to stay just to see if the just to see any last trade cycle, and I do end up getting one more string trade, meaning that I can 0 cycle the dragon, which this is huge. Because usually single triple, it gives you like nothing. But now it has, basically it has enough things, it gave me enough resources to finish the run. I see the fort right there. And the crazy thing is that with a good fort, with a good post blind, good everything, this has a chance of beating my personal best, which is crazy, considering that this was a jungle temple sleed, and the enter was slow. Now, I really want to play aggressively. I see the spawner there. I want to pearl to it. I can't pearl. What I end up doing is bridging out with soul sand and soul speed, which, a lot slower than if I could pearl, but it's still able to get the job done, so I can't be too mad about it. And here's where it starts to fall apart. I get a 4 spawn, which is beautiful, but I kill the first blaze, doesn't drop. Second blaze, doesn't drop. Third blaze, doesn't drop. Fourth blaze, doesn't drop. I'm 0 for 4. That is so bad. That's a 1 in 16 chance of happening, that I don't get a single rod from the blazes. There's 15 out of 16 times I get at least 1 rod there, but no. And then another 3 spawn. Let's see how many rods I get from here. 5th blaze drops a rod, thank goodness. But the 6th and 7th blaze do not drop a rod. I am 1 for 7. With perfect blaze rates, I would be out of the nether now. Obviously, you can't expect perfection from every run, so I can't really like complain about not getting like perfect luck, but still trying to overlap everything I can by building my portal. I had already pre-crafted explosives. I pretty much have nothing left to overlap right now. I get another 3 spawn. Let's see. 8th blaze doesn't drop a rod. 9th blaze drops my 2nd rod out of 10 blazes, and my 10th blaze doesn't drop a rod. I'm 2 for 10. With average blaze rates, I would be gone right now. Sub 7 blind. Very respectable, not bad at all. And I get caved, but it's under an ocean, so that's not that big a deal. I decide to death reset right now, which it's usually better to death reset after measuring the eyes, just because then you start losing your saturation later in the run. But I saw that I was at low hunger, and I really didn't want to run out of hunger in the water, because then that means you can't swim, you just bob up and down in the water, and that's really slow, and I just didn't really want to have to deal with that, so that's why I death resetted first. But yeah, if this is just being caved here is just like a 30-second time loss, which is very annoying. But it's not too bad compared to the abhorrent blaze rates. Now, I don't have it on screen, but I did, after this run, manage to take a screenshot of my Ninja Brain bot, and the stronghold is 300 blocks away, but there's only a 66% chance of that being true. But at this point in the run, I'm like, okay, the stronghold's gonna be 300 blocks away, or I'm pushing the computer out of the window. Like, that's what's happening here. But yeah, at this point I'm like, okay, I'll just get like another Blaze Pack spawns, I can head to the Stronghold, it'll probably be sub 9 if I'm able to get there fast considering like how close it is. And I'm thinking like, yeah, my luck will cancel out and I get a 3 spawn again. Let's see, 11th Blaze, doesn't drop a rod. 12th Blaze, doesn't drop a rod. 13th Blaze, does it drop a rod? I could not tell. I don't think it does. I'm debating if I want to go for the start. The 13th Blaze did not drop a rod. I am 2 for 13. That's insane. This is probably a bottom 5 fort split for me. This is just how bad that this is. And I guess it's kind of like a trade-off, because I had the good luck of the Magma Ravine being exactly how deep I needed it to be, and the single-triple trades coming through. That's actually very lucky, admittedly, I will say. I got pretty lucky with the single-triple trades, but still doesn't, like, make up for the fact that this is just, like, awful blaze rates. And I think that was just a 1 spawn, and it didn't drop. So that's 2 for 14, which is just absurd. Like, unheard of bad rates. There have been people who've gotten worse rates with me. I decide to, like, shoot this blaze to go for it, to push it back onto the fort. Does he end up dropping? Yes, okay. That's my 3rd rod. I get my 3rd rod 4 minutes after entering the fort. That's how bad the rates were. At this point, I get my 4th rod. I'm debating going for this stray, and yeah, okay. This rod drops. I decide to go kill this blaze. Now I have 5 rods, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm just going to go. Because if I wait for my 6th rod, the run is just going to be slower. And that's just the truth of it. And having a 2-eye is like a 28% chance or something. I don't actually know the full odds of it, but it's something that's it's something that you can realistically play for in random seed runs. But yeah, the portal is very close. I'm building it 30 seconds after leaving the fortress, which just goes to show that if everything worked out, this could have just been a PB-paced stronghold if I didn't get unlucky in the fort and I didn't get caved, which is absolutely crazy to me. Scanning around, trying to find the portal room, and at this point I see the stronghold is ocean exposed. And so I'm like, okay, maybe I'll check to see if I can see the portal room. I look this way, don't see it, and now I see it from here. I see the light and the iron bars from the side. And I'm getting shot at by a trident guy, but this would be really bad if I got impaled by that trident guy. I think I would have actually crashed out. But luckily for me, he's got the worst aim in the world. And I'm able to get my death reset on here, and oh, this is embarrassing. What I try to do is I try to suffocate myself in the blocks so I can save a pearl for the 0, but because it's ocean exposed and I went too far into the block, I get pushed out. Now, this just was 100% my fault. If I was just better at the strat, I would have just stayed within the portal room. But it's a 3-eye, which is really good for me, because now I can enter the end. And I have 5 explosives. I'm going for the 0 cycle. It's a back dragon, and it's a tall tower. This is a tough 0. And I don't think I can get to the top setup, so I decide to go for the 95 setup. And as I'm building it right now, I see that, yeah, the dragon is just gone. Like, it's just not there. So I decide to shoot a crystal so it can fireball me immediately, so it can perch. And at this point, I'm just sad, dude. Like, if I hit that 0, this would have been the coolest run of all time. And I decided to go for that crystal. I don't even know if it hits, but I feel like that's a bad play for RSG. I don't think shooting crystals in RSG is, like, really good of a play. But I have no pearls, so I'm killing these endermen to hopefully get one, and there. And I'm looking at the dragon. It looks like it's about to perch, and it does. It does perch. And I'm like, okay, well, that makes up for, I guess, some of the bad luck. Maybe the dragon felt bad for me, but I still need to hit the 1 cycle. The first bed's good. Second bed, pretty good. It's about half health. Third bed's alright. And the 4th bed clutches up, and I live on half a heart. This is cinema. This is my craziest run ever. All the events, just one by one. The the no iron in the temple, into the magma ravine being just deep enough, into the lava tick, into the bastion clutching up, into the horrible blaze rates, into the close stronghold and good portal room, into the dragon flying away, into the insta-perch, is insane. I've never had anything like this before, and this is probably going to be my craziest run for a long time. This was just so awesome. I'm so happy I got this run. This was so funny. The fact that with all the bad luck, oh okay, and I get back to resetting. I still want that that PB, that peanut butter. Always going for it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like this, please subscribe because it makes me happy. It's the best way to support the channel.